our electeds, and we asked some of our members to be here, and as you can see, they responded. I want to thank our electeds, members of Congress, Congressman Maloney, our rock here, Congressman King on the other side of the aisle, another rock. We got Congresswoman Rice, Congressman Nadler, who's not here yet, but I'm told he's coming. Congressman May, Max Rose is here, Congressman Rose, and Ocasio-Cortez might be here also. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, I'm told, might be here also. She's not here yet. But welcome to you all. All right. We have a hearing down in Washington on Tuesday on the House floor. I'm told that we have 330 representatives that have signed on. So we're very optimistic that on Wednesday, when they vote, that this should be passed. So here we go. Hello, and thank you all for joining us on this important occasion to discuss the topic, which is very incredibly important to firefighters, first responders, and tens of thousands throughout our country. There are over 95,000 survivors or responders of 9/11 2001 in every state of our union. There's only one district, I'm told, in Alaska that isn't represented by some victim that isn't living in every district in the country. Many of these men and women have been diagnosed with chronic illness and disabilities linked to their work that happened right here in those days, those weeks, and those months following the World Trade Center attacks. Hundreds of firefighters who were exposed to the dangerous toxins, that toxic soup, as is mentioned right here at Ground Zeroes, have died. 195 members of the New York City Fire Department have died since 9/11. We lost 343 that day. That number keeps climbing higher. We anticipate more firefighters to be diagnosed and unfortunately die in the future. The victims and families of these of what happened to them here need this compensation. Not only the firefighters, not only the police, not only EMS, but all the iron workers, the construction workers, the cleanup crew, all the people that were told that the air was clean, that live in this area, the kids that go to school, everybody else that, the world economy runs right through here, just a mile away here in downtown Manhattan. So nearly 18 years have passed, but firefighters and first responders are still battling serious health problems caused by their exposure from working on the rubble of September 11th. The efforts of the Uniformed Firefighters Association and the federal funding is vitally important to the families of more than 33,000 first responders who struggle with illness from the worst domestic attack in American history. At least 3,700 firefighters have been diagnosed with cancers. Survivors will join FDNY leaders down in D.C. to push for the reauthorization of this funding. Each and every day, the terrorists take more lives. But this time, it's not from a burning building. It's from the effects thereafter from, like I said, that toxic soup that was in the air. 9/11 was an attack on our country, not on these individuals. These individuals answered the call, and we all responded and saved lives and helped this country rebuild this city, rebuild this state. And we have recovered since. We are thriving, as you can see. When America was attacked, New York City's first responders answered. Now, as New York City's first responders continue to be attacked from the inside out, it's time for America and Congress to answer the call. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce... the President of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association, Jim Lamunda, or Jake, as we fondly and lovingly call him.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jake Lamunda, President of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association. I'm here with my executive board and members of the UFA and members of Congress. I want to thank you all for being here with us so that our message is heard loud and clear. Last Thursday, June 6th, we honored members of our military who pulled off one of the greatest military operations the world ever witnessed. They were there to defend freedom, democracy, and liberty. They were called the greatest generation, a distinguishment that could only be given to them. On September 11th and the days to follow, we had proud Americans respond to the day our nation was attacked. They came from coast to coast, from every state. They were here to defend liberty, democracy, and freedom. Our nation was attacked. We were knocked to our knees, and we were there to send a message. You can knock us down, but you will never knock us out.
Yay!
I stand here with our elected New York delegation with a message to our elected leaders all across the country. We're asking you to stand tall, to pass this legislation, to stand tall as the towers once stood. Let's send a message across the world that democracy will never be attacked. This is very necessary funding. We have thousands of first responders, thousands of workers who came from across this country, labor unions, citizens. We all knew the air was not safe to breathe. We all knew we were working in a toxic environment. It's time to put this issue to bed. Let's get the funding approved. Thank you.
I apologize we started so quickly. I want to thank my executive board and the UFOA board for being here. I also want to thank all our active and retired members that are standing behind me and some of their children. I believe that they all know that this is a serious fight and it's worth coming out, but I wanted to thank them personally. So up first, I'd like to introduce the woman that fills out a bunker coat better than most, Congressman Maloney.
Thank everybody for being here and for all of their support. I'm Congresswoman Maloney from the 12th Congressional District. We must pass the Never Forget the Heroes Act to fully fund and make permanent the Victims' Compensation Fund by July 4th. 9/11 first responders were there for us. We need to be there for them and to show them that we truly meant that we will never forget. And the way we show that is by passing this bill. I'm so proud to stand with each and one of my colleagues in Congress that are part of this great effort, and to stand with the firefighters and fire officers who are working every day to keep us safe, but to thank them for their efforts and to let them know that they are not alone in their effort to fully fund the Victim Compensation Fund. We are going to have a very big day on Tuesday. On Tuesday, the Judiciary Committee, which is chaired by Gerald Nadler, one of the prime sponsors with Peter King on the other side of the aisle, they are having a hearing on this vital bill. I will be testifying at this hearing, and we are hopeful that soon the committee will report it out to the full Congress for passage. On September 11th, we lost almost 3,000 people. But the death toll from 9/11 continues to rise. And soon we will lose more people since 9/11 than on 9/11 due to related diseases caused from the deadly toxins. We will lose more than we lost on that horrific day. According to the Uniform Firefighters Association, 195 members of the FDNY have passed away due to 9/11 related illnesses. Thousands more suffer from chronic diseases, cancer, and a whole host of other 9/11 related illnesses. More than 11,000 responders and survivors have been certified as having 9/11 related cancers, and the number keeps growing. When those planes hit the towers, our true twin towers, the police and fire came in to protect people. It was one of the greatest rescue efforts in history. They worked on the pile, they looked for survivors, and they then worked to rebuild. And they were exposed to a chemical mix of deadly toxins. Our whole country owes them a tremendous debt, a debt that we can never fully repay. Not only police and fire, but federal, local law enforcement, medical workers, construction workers, volunteers, and other heroes who selflessly rushed to Ground Zero, the Pentagon in Shanksville, to protect. There are over 95,000 responders and survivors who are living in every state, almost, and every single congressional district. 433 out of 435 districts have a survivor suffering because of their work week. In 2016, Congress made the health care program permanent, but we expanded the Victims' Compensation Fund till 2020. But there is a more urgent deadline now. In February, the September 11th Victims' Compensation Fund Special Master announced that due to increases in claims, the fund does not have enough money even to make it to 2020. They have had to reduce the amounts paid to our heroes by 50 to 70%. And this is devastating to the responders and their families. So along with Representative King, Nadler, and others in the delegation, many of whom are with me today and will speak shortly, we have introduced legislation that requires the special master to make whole those who received reduced claims due to the insufficient funding and to extend the program permanently. What can I say? We have to get this done, and I'm so proud to stand with each and every firefighter and fire officer who's here today to let them know that we will never give up. We are standing with them. They are not alone in their efforts to fully fund the Victims' Compensation Fund. We will be there fighting with them on Tuesday all week long. We will never give up until we have passed this important bill and we have kept our commitment that we would never, ever forget. We thank them for their, what can you say? We can never repay them for what they did for us. We must pass this bill, and I am so pleased to call my co-leader on this from the other side of the aisle, Jerry Nadler, the Peter King. This is a totally bipartisan effort. We have over 60 Republicans joining us in this effort. We're proud to have their support. Thank you, Peter, for your leadership.
Thank you very much, Carol, for your great effort on this over the years. We never stop working with you, and Jerry Nadler so much credit. We also thank Jake and Gerard and the UFOA and the UFA for being there literally from the first moment the attack was carried out on September 11th, and since then, and every struggle we've had on the healthcare, on victim compensation, you've been there. You've been stalwart soldiers, and I can't thank you enough for the work that you've done to make our job a little bit easier in Congress. It would not have been done. None of this legislation going back to right after 9/11 would have been passed without your help. Now we're in the final days of this last effort, which has to be done. None of us can ever forget what happened on 9/11. None of us can ever forget the heroism went on that day. And there was also tremendous heroism afterwards down here, the recovery, the rescue, the constant work to find remains, the men and women that were down here, the firefighters, the fire officers, the police, the building trades, construction trades, court officers, everyone at every level, and people lived nearby, those students, as I was in high school. This is something which was an attack on the United States of America. And thankfully, this time around, fighting the way we're waging is easier than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when members of Congress from other parts of the region somehow thought this crisis was not real. Now they know it is. All of us know friends, neighbors, constituents who are dying. People getting sick every day. I was in Manchester the other day, and someone told me a week ago he was diagnosed with 9/11 cancer. This is happening. So when the fund was authorized in 2020, doctors, all the experts thought that would be more than enough money to get us through. They didn't realize all these dormant cancers were lying there. People were getting these late developing illnesses, all directly traceable to 9/11. The program has been administered well. It's done an outstanding job, both the health care and the victim compensation. But again, when you get phone calls and messages or emails, people suddenly find out they've been stricken with a 9/11 illness that could be fatal, and they're concerned not just about themselves but their families, what's going to happen. Or those who are given awards, and those awards have been dramatically reduced because of the lack of funds. We have to make sure this pass it. We have to make sure it's going to get done. And as Carolyn said, it is bipartisan. Now, it's going to be in the House Judiciary Committee this week. As you know, there's been a lot of other developments in the House Judiciary Committee, and all of you should watch it. If you want to see a true bipartisan effort in the committee, you have Jerry Nadler and his top Republican ranking member. On this issue, at least, they agree 100%. And I give Jerry so much credit for that, being able to line up support on both sides of the aisle. Carolyn for doing that, and again, all our colleagues are here today, Grace, Max, Kathleen, I know they're here, and they are absolutely committed to this also. This is essential. We're going to get it done. And again, I just want to thank the UFA and the UFOA for always being there and for being great Americans, great fighters, symbolizing the heart and spirit of New York. And now I guess it's my job, my pleasure job, to introduce the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, who I have to admit, I think before all of us, he was the first one who fully realized the impact of the health situation from 9/11. Jerry was a fighter, he's always been a fighter, and whatever other issues are going on in Congress, no one has ever been more bipartisan than this issue than Jerry Nadler. So, Chairman Jerry Nadler.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry we have to be here again today, because I'm sorry we've had to be in this area so many times in the past on this issue. As I've always said, we have two moral duties here, two separate sources of moral duties. To the first responders, fire officers, the police officers, the iron workers, everybody who responded, and to the residents in the community. People who work here, who live here, who went to school here. Now, two moral responsibilities. Number one, many people are getting sick because of the toxins released by the destruction of the World Trade Center, the collapse of the World Trade Center, and blaming terrorists for that. Secondly, our own government denied for months that the air was not safe to breathe. Some of us were yelling, the air is not safe to breathe. The federal government, the city government was saying it is safe. And we knew better. Therefore, many people worked on the pile for months without proper respiratory protection. And that is a sin beyond belief. And we bear this moral responsibility for that too. Many people are sick who needn't have been sick. Had proper precautions been taken then. But it's in the past, and it gives us a moral responsibility. As Lincoln said, I was quoting him on this, we have a responsibility to care for him who shall have borne the burden of his widow and his orphan. And that's what we have to do. And that's why we struggled, Carolyn, myself, Peter, others, to enact the 9/11 health bill, the Zadroga health bill. It took us 7 years to enact it, and we finally did. We managed to extend the health program for 75 years, 5 years ago, to 2090. But we weren't able to extend the Victims' Compensation Fund beyond 5 years, until next year, 2020. And the funds available to it are too little because the number of cancers coming up are more than anticipated, which is a tragedy in and of itself. So it is our moral responsibility, it is the Congress' responsibility, it is the United States' responsibility to rectify that, to extend the Victims' Compensation Fund, to match the health care fund to 2090, which means in effect indefinitely, and to fund it properly. And that's what we're going to do. And that's why we've introduced the legislation we have. And I'm glad, as chairman of the Judiciary Committee, I was able to schedule this hearing for Tuesday. It will be the first hearing on this. And we will report the bill out of the Judiciary Committee, not Tuesday, but in a couple of weeks probably. And we will pass this bill. It is necessary for everyone to make sure that pressure is brought to bear on the House and on the Senate on a bipartisan basis to make sure we fulfill our moral responsibility. And it's not just a moral responsibility, it's also a very practical. We may have emergencies in the future, God forbid. And we give a history, we probably will. And we want people to act in everyone's interest. And we want people not to have to stop and think, well, if I go in to help rescue those people, it may result in disaster for me and my family, and I can't depend on that. We don't want people to hesitate. We don't want people not to do what they should do. So this is a moral imperative, it's a practical imperative, it's something we must do. I thank the UFOA and the UFA for fighting for this for so long. I thank everyone who's here for the efforts that have been made over the years, John Stewart, other people, and we'll prevail on this because we must. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce Congresswoman Rice and thank her for her support and thank her for showing up here this morning with trees.
Thank you so much. My name is Kathleen Rice and I represent a district on Long Island. Long Islanders have a very long-standing tradition of service in both the NYPD and the FDNY, and many of them responded right here on 9/11 in the days and the weeks and the months after that. I want to echo all the comments of my colleagues, but also add this, that if we do not fully extend the Victims' Compensation Fund for all of those first responders who are going to continue to be diagnosed into the future, what we are doing as a government is effectively pulling the rug out under every single first responder who spent days, weeks, some years here recovering and rebuilding. And that is not just immoral, but it's un-American. So I'm looking forward to going back to Washington next week, working with Pete, who has been really such a stalwart here, and getting Republican support to make this a nonpartisan issue, because when people came here on 9/11, they didn't show up here as Republicans or Democrats. They showed up as Americans, and we need to honor their service. Thank you.
Congressman Meng, another friend, and we appreciate that you showed up here with a point guard son at the game. So we're going to be all root for him, but Congresswoman, sorry, Meng.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you to Gerald Fitzgerald, to all your members, retirees, everyone who is here today. September 11th, 2001 was a harrowing day that will live in our minds and our hearts forever. We all know and remember exactly where we were when we first heard the news, what we were doing, who we were with, and that feeling of fear, of panic and uncertainty, and later loss and anger will never truly go away. There is not one person in this area that wasn't affected in some way, whether they were at the Twin Towers on 9/11 or in school. This horrific act of terrorism changed each of us as individuals, how we relate to our families, our country, each other, and our communities. It changed New York, our nation, and our world. As Americans, and foremost New Yorkers, we grew stronger, and we could not have made it this far without our first responders, who have earned every single ounce of support that we can and should provide. We can never thank our first responders enough for all they had done on 9/11 and all that they continue to do every day since then to keep us safe. Without hesitation, these courageous men and women continuously put their lives on the line to save others' lives, rushing into burning buildings, responding to emergencies, and putting themselves in harm's way. On that very day and many weeks that followed, first responders and construction workers worked in the dark clouds of dust where the Twin Towers once stood, exposing themselves to those toxins from the collapse as they searched for survivors and performed recovery and debris cleanup, review their vital programs, and extend the support provided in this fund. And that's why we're all standing here today. The fund needs to be permanently and fully funded to provide medical benefits to the first responders and compensate the families of those who were killed on 9/11 and those who died of 9/11 related illnesses. The first responders stood by their duty to serve our country, and we, the United States of America and the United States Congress, must do our part and fulfill our duty to serve them. Thank you everyone for being here.
Now I'd like to introduce one of our newer friends, Congressman Max Rose.
I want to thank all the firefighters, the leaders here today, Mr. Maloney and Mr. Nadler for your leadership on this issue before really anyone was talking about it. So let's put this in the simplest of terms. Every person that dies from 9/11 related illnesses is yet another casualty of Al-Qaeda's attack so many years ago. Now we know that because of the extraordinary leadership of those here today, the House is going to pass this in the coming weeks. But we're also here to call on the Senate. This is the Senate's opportunity to lead. This is the Senate's opportunity to put hyperpartisanship aside and to be there for those who were there for us. Those who put their lives on the line. You know, I've had the opportunity to spend an extraordinary amount of time with our firefighters, police officers, first responders, our nation's best. And what they all say to a T is that knowing what I know today, knowing the sicknesses that I've dealt with, knowing the fact that I've had to watch my brothers and sisters pass, we all would still rush into harm's way. We all would do it again. That is our nation's finest. That's the values that we all ascribe to, that we all seek to fulfill, and we have got to be there for them. So the Senate, you gotta pass this bill. It's what's right for this country. And Mr. President, we trust that you're gonna remember you're a New Yorker and you're gonna be there for them. All right, thank you so much.
It's been said over and over again, we all remember where we were on that day. And I was 12. I was 12 years old on 9/11. And it was that day, you know, when you're a kid, this was happening to so many New York kids. That was the day that our definition of hero changed. Where it was no longer the things we saw on television or the characters we saw in movies, but forever, for the rest of our lives, our definition of hero changed to the firefighters, police officers, and first responders that showed up, the people who gave their lives, their time, their health for others. They defined heroism for others. And in that spirit, we have a responsibility to say, for heroism and for acts of heroism, we will be for you there then, we will be there for you now, and we will be there for you tomorrow, no matter what. No matter what. That is what the meaning of the Victims' Compensation Fund really is. That is what we are telling the American people. That heroism and American heroism is something that we will always value. And whether it was an injury or a disability that happened physically on the day of the attacks, whether it was PTSD that developed afterwards, whether it was cancer or respiratory illness, we have to be there for our heroes no matter what, no matter the cost. Because if we can't provide health care for these folks, how can we get health care for anybody? These folks and all of us need to ensure that on that day, we are there for you all. And I'm just thankful for Congressman King, Congressman Maloney, Congressman Nadler, and all of us that are here coming here today to put all of our differences aside to say that some things need to and must transcend politics because they're the right thing to do. Thank you very much.
I believe we're done with the speeches. We'll field a few questions if anybody has them. And again, thank you to everybody that has shown up.
You know how it will cost?
We have a cost estimate. I must confess I don't remember what that is. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter. We have an obligation to fund this regardless. The cost will be far, far less than the price already paid by first responders. And it's our moral obligation to fund it, and we will fund it.
What is the timeline, right? Tuesday is the meeting, Wednesday is the vote?
No. Tuesday is the hearing. We'll we'll have to mark the bill up probably a few weeks later, and we'll have to be on the floor before the end of July.
What's the biggest roadblocks that you believe?
I hope there are no roadblocks, and I don't know. I don't know. We have passed this in the past. The vision has not been there to realize how long these sicknesses are going to go on and how much they're going to go on. With every passing year, we know more about that. It's getting clearer, and that should make it more necessary and easier to pass the legislation.
Congresswoman Maloney, are you close to taking that jacket off, you think?
The day we introduced the bill, I promised that I would wear this jacket until we passed it. Now it's getting hot. So I was hoping that the chairman can do his magic and pass it out of committee. Personally, I'd love to see it passed by July 4th because that's the symbol of the values of our nation. And what greater value do we have now than the firefighters and fire officers who gave their lives that day, continue to give their lives as they protect us, and many, many thousands are really very, very sick with cancers now. It is the moral thing to do. It is the right thing to do. The biggest obstacle is always money. One of our rules is that we pass something, we have to pay for it, which means we have to take something else out of the budget, which is always a fight. So what is unique about this is that those that oppose us say, oh, it's a New York issue. It's not a New York issue. It's a national issue. We were attacked because we were Americans. We were attacked in the Pentagon because we were Americans. So it's a responsibility of the nation. But my office worked incredibly hard. They did the job of 12 people over each one of them while documenting a survivor from every single congressional district save one. Every single congressional district has someone in that database who has cancers, who worked here, so it is a responsibility of every member of Congress to take care of their constituent, and it is a responsibility of all of us to speak out and vote for America, American values. I would love to see a celebration on the 4th of July that we remembered our heroes. We remembered those who were there for us as we remembered those who were there for D-Day this week and that horrific time and that turning point in history. This was a turning point in history. We stood up and fought back against terrorism, fought back with our lives. We continue to fight back. We have not been attacked again, although they have tried many times. That is a victory. We should celebrate it. We should pass this bill and give the heroes and heroines, the FDA, the firefighters and fire officers, the police officers, everybody who is involved, the dignity and respect they so justly deserve.
I want to add one thing on the cost estimate. When we passed the bill in 2015 extending the Victims' Compensation Act for 5 years, we had an appropriation. One of the problems we have now is that appropriation was too small because the number of cancers that have arisen are greater than anticipated. So the one thing we have to say about any cost estimate is we really don't know. God forbid there are more cancers and more sicknesses in the next 15, 20, 30 years or whatever than we now anticipate. The anticipation is really an estimate. The cost will be higher. God willing, there are fewer sicknesses 5, 10, 15 years from now. When we are guessing now, the cost will be low. So it's really very difficult, in fact impossible to accurately gauge the cost. But whatever it is, we must get it. Yes.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.